Do you remember how old you were when you found out what war was? Or how old you were when you started to think it was kind of cool? It's a pretty common feeling, wishing you could have been in the ranks of World War II. But World War II was incredibly violent, with mass casualties and unimaginable loss of life. Why would anyone wish to be a part of something so violent, cruel, inhumane? It almost seems to defy biology. Like you should want to live, not be involved in something likely to get you killed. But war has shaped our world. It's built empires, ended civilizations, it's inspired countless books, movies, songs. But the weird part is that we don't fear war, or I guess I should say, we don't only fear war, we romanticize it. We turn it into legends, hero stories, national myths. Think the Trojan War, think Captain America, think Saving Private Ryan. All these things have undertones that are like just completely violent and awful, but we love these forms of media. We love these stories. So why do we glorify something built on destruction? I think it comes down to the language, right? It's always been wrapped in the language of glory. Like you think of war as honor, sacrifice, brotherhood. You don't really frame it as slaughtering, as mass deaths. There's a lot of positive wording around war. Like when you think of ancient myths or even modern movies today, it's kind of like all packaged as a grand adventure, something that gives meaning to life rather than something that's taking away life, that's horrifying. Governments, empires, media, they all use these narratives for centuries to rally people behind dying for their cause. No one signs up for that pointless slaughter. What they sign up for is to defend freedom or to be a hero. But like we've all seen Saving Private Ryan. We know about the D-Day slaughter. We all know about the shit show that we call interventions in Vietnam, Korea, the Middle East. None of us are really fooled by that propaganda, but there's something so intrinsically alluring about war. Like, if you think about the top video games right now, Battlefield 6 and Call of Duty Black Ops 7, they both just released, and their campaigns tell the stories of a ragtag group of nobodies single handedly saving the world from behind the shadows. I think that's what we romanticize, is that cool idea of, being one of the guys behind the scenes, does crazy things, huge action scenes, you're saving the world. You don't really think about just the grunt in the trenches running across no man's land who was just gunned down. His life ended right there. Like, we don't like the idea of slaughtering or being slaughtered, but we love the idea of justice and righteousness coming out on top no matter what. We don't romanticize the Nazis. We romanticize the Allied soldiers who crushed them. The war stories told about freedom and justice persevering no matter the odds. Those are what sells. Those are what we love to hear. And I think what's really interesting is that we consume war as entertainment. And we've been doing it for as long as humans have existed, really. You think of gladiators, just watching people go and kill each other, to like front page headlines during World War One and Two, or even movies now. Like it's a very big thing right now to make movies about World War Two, and it's to tell those hero stories, even though the actual events were just awful beyond anything you could imagine. It's a spectacle, a national drama. It's like a clean, simple narrative of us versus them. The closer you are to the front lines, though, the less glorious it looks. And, for everyone else, war can start to feel like something happening on a screen rather than people actually, giving their lives, dying for us. And that distance is kind of what allows this myth to survive. And when you think about it, psychologically, it makes sense. Humans are wired for conflict. Our brains love clear narratives, good versus evil, hero versus villain, and war, tends to provide a moral clarity that everyday life doesn't. It gives people a role, a sense of belonging, a shared enemy. And when, societies are anxious or fragmented, that clarity is pretty tempting. It makes complicated problems feel very simple, and that's why, time and time again, we walk into wars thinking we're walking into something noble, which, is kind of an issue because when war is romanticized, it's way easier to start and way harder to stop. People cheer, before they understand what it is that they're cheering for. Real thing isn't the movies, it's not cinematic, it's brutal, messy, leave scars for generations, soldiers coming home with PTSD. It's awful. It's young men dying for older men's beliefs, and we all just buy it and love it. History is full of wars that began with glory and only ended with graves. That being said, it's not wrong to honor bravery or to remember history, but when we turn war into a storybook, we forget what it really is, an organized tragedy. This isn't to say that you can't still enjoy war media or that you shouldn't. It's human nature. As soon as I finish recording this video, I'm probably hopping back on Battlefield 6. I love the idea of war, and I was curious why. You should think of this as a case study, not a lecture. My intent is not to make you feel guilty, just to get you to ask yourself, why do you romanticize war so heavily?